Welcome back here to the Curve Fitness Center on Roche University Sports Network. Phil Pito alongside Jeff Santa back here for another men's and women's basketball broadcast. So, like we said, it's been a little bit of a break since we've been on air. You know, we missed two home games because of Christmas break and how that worked out. But we're glad to be back. Glad to be here with you guys on this nice Saturday. Well, in the gym it's nice. Outside it's not so much. We really appreciate you guys listening and joining us. But just to get into some stuff here, Hilbert College comes into La Roche today, the Curve Fitness Center, and tries to leave with two wins in the men's and the women's game. Hilbert 10-4 overall here in the men's action, 6-3 in conference. Play this La Roche team who is 8-6 overall and 8-1 in the conference after dropping that last conference game to Franciscan on the road, 72-71. So real quick for the tip, Jeff, what are some keys for this La Roche team to get back to their winning stance and try to get back in the same groove that they were in conference early on?
Yeah, Phil, that's a great question, and definitely good to be back. Great atmosphere here today at the Kerr, and I think that's a good point you bring up. They're coming off a conference loss, which snapped a pretty long conference winning streak for these Redhawks, and I think what we have to look at here is that the Hilbert Hawks average 81.1 points per game, so I think Coach Hermie Carmichael is really going to have to focus on the defensive aspect of his players today.
Yeah, I agree. And so one thing we noted pregame, too, is Kennedy Smith will not be with us for this game. He is actually facing a suspension, 2 games as of right now from an incident that occurred after the Franciscan game. And so we're going to get some more updates on that hopefully as the day goes on. But no Kennedy Smith here. So Joe Pipolo, the freshman, will get the start for La Roche. As we see a 3 there from Martineau, and that's off the mark. La Roche with a 2-0 lead early on here. As Darius Lawrence, brings the ball down the floor. Pipolo from 3, and that's good. So Pipolo with a big spark there to go 5-0 quick off that second possession for La Roche.
Yeah, Phil, we really haven't seen much of the freshman, but that shot looks pretty pure to me.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, though. We said Kenny Smith is hard to replace, man. He's one of those ones where it's going to be difficult to see how this La Roche team can do it. And one thing we both mentioned, as a foul there goes to Joe Pipolo, but one of the things we mentioned is there's 3 big freshmen that have played significant minutes this season, and they're going to have to make up for it.
Oh, most definitely. It's going to be hopefully a committee effort here to replace the efforts of Kennedy Smith with his absence today, but nothing that these young freshmen aren't prepared and aren't ready to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see Hermie Carmichael get the 3 ready. That's Gianni Smith, Jalen Brown, and Joe Pipolo, who Pipolo gets the start today and already has 3 points. So that's good for him. Like we said, they just have to, not one person has to make up for Kennedy Smith's absence. It's just going to have to be a team effort as the first free throw there for Kamanos goes in. Second one up, and that's also good. So La Roche leads Hilbert 5-4 here. 18:47 remaining in this first half. So we see this Hilbert team pressure on defense, the full court there. Pipolo's from 3 again, that's off the mark. But we see the full court pressure from Hilbert. They're just going to try to give a little bit more pressure on the defensive end because Kennedy Smith is absent today.
Yeah, even the Redhawks on the first Hilbert possession, full court press was put on there by Coach Hermie, so it's interesting dynamic thus far with the pace.
So a missed layup opportunity there, but a good offensive rebound by Martineau as he goes in to compose. Ooh, that's blocked there by Luke McDonough as they push the ball down the floor. Pipolo goes to Hannes. Hannes for 3. That's off the mark. Ball tipped out by Hilbert, so that ball is going to stay with La Roche.
You might as well stay on Pipolo at this point. A great court vision, cross-court feed. Austin Hannes ran off the spot, but it was still a good shot attempt.
So another offensive possession here as La Roche goes. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Hannes now dribbling around. Ball goes to McDonough. Into the corner to Lawrence. Lawrence for a short 2, but that's good. So Darius Lawrence now with that 2 is trying to work his way into the offensive action here. So we see the press broken here by Hilbert as they get a quick 2, and Hermie Carmichael will take a quick 30-second timeout. So we will as well. We'll be right back here on the La Roche University Sports Network. Kerr Fitness Center as LaRoche inbounds after their timeout, trying to break this full court press here from Hilbert. So we see McDonough and Piplo working it back between each other. Ball goes to Hannes. Hannes drives, pulls up a short two, and that's good. So Hilbert to inbound here as LaRoche leads 9-6 early in this first half. Hilbert is we talked about it pregame too, Jeff. Hilbert's a team that has hung around in a lot of games, and overall record is pretty good. I mean, other than a one loss out of conference, you know, they've had a good season so far at 10-4. And so if they can continue a little bit of momentum, they can knock off LaRoche here at the Kerr easily on this Saturday.
Oh, most definitely. This Hawks squad isn't a team that's going to come in here and roll over. I mean, we talk about it every day, and especially in our own walk of athletics, that everyone's gunning for the Redhawks. You got a target on your back when you're that successful in the AMCC for the past recent years. So every game's going to be a battle here.
Absolutely, these Redhawks, and as good as they are at home, they are able to be beaten here at this court. We've seen it before. We saw Barron do it last year in the championship game of the AMCC. So it's one of those things where you just have to keep your troops rallied and make sure they know that it is possible in a day like this. And so Lawrence's first free throw attempt is good. I mean, but we've also recognized that this LaRoche team, yes, 8-6 overall is not what they wanted overall. I mean, it's not no non-conference wins. They haven't had the best season, but they have just been had some serious problems with some injuries, with some disciplinary actions, with some people that we thought that were going to be on the team all year long and didn't even make it to day one. And so it's a testament to Coach Carmichael that they're 8-1 in the conference and still at the top with the things that have went on this year.
Oh, exactly, Philip. And like you said, the out-of-conference record isn't desirable, but those out-of-conference losses, they teach good lessons for this team. I mean, they've overcome adversity already, and it's better than just rolling through your whole schedule with no adversity along the way.
Yeah, I also agree. I think it's one of those things where if you can get the adversity out of the way early on, you'll be better as the year goes on. So a three there by Hilbert ties this game up at 11 apiece. And we see Desmond Ross check in. He's going to check in for Luke McDonough. So it'll be his first minutes in this game here. Three ball there for Vavanich with 2 threes, back-to-back possessions there as he's got 6. Pipolo goes to the corner to Ross. Ross for 3. That's good. So Desmond Ross comes in and makes an immediate impact. And again, that's just something that LaRoche is going to have to continue to do as this game goes on, because the 5 guys on the floor are not going to have to carry this whole team.
Yeah, some great shooting performances from both teams to start here. Almost everything going in the hoop.
This Hilbert team, I mean, they can score. I mean, they've proven it here. I mean, 16 points in under 5 minutes to start this game. It's gonna be an offensive battle here, and we're gonna hope to see this team continue to put up points, as LaRoche is gonna have to do the same on the offensive end. So Desmond Ross with the ball now, goes to Pipolo. Pipolo drives, kicks to Ross. Ross from 3. That's off the mark. Gonna get an offensive foul here on LaRoche. That one is going to go on Tyler Frederick. It'll be his first.
I know it's still early here, Philip, but after the first 5 minutes, my main observation would be our Red Hawks squad needs to play at their own pace, right? The Hawks versus Hawks here, so it gets a little confusing. But this Hilbert squad has come down, and they're kind of controlling the momentum, and they're controlling the pace of the game. And Frederick just checked out there. I don't even think he touched the ball in the offensive end once.
Yeah, it's been one of those ones where Hilbert obviously has come in with a game plan where they're going to shut Frederick down, because he's, again, the preseason player of the year. He's playing like the player of the year this year. And a turnover there by LaRoche actually goes back to them after a turnover by Hilbert as they try to push the pace. But like you said, I mean, it's just it's one of those things where Hilbert knew what they had to do to come into this game, and it's showing early on. So it's going to see which Hawks team can sustain the pressure the best. We're going to see if Hilbert can keep the pressure on, and we're going to also see if LaRoche has the ability to sustain the pressure and push back on their end. So we see Jalen Brown now, another one of those freshmen we talked about earlier with the ball, as he gives it up to Hannes. Hannes directing traffic here. McDonough to set a screen. Gives it back to Hannes. Hannes short two, and that's no good. Good defensive rebound there by Warren Richardson. As this pace is getting pushed, there he is again. Venovich for three, and that's his third three. He's got 9 early on here. So Hilbert off to a jump start here at this offensive end as they lead 19-14 with 14 minutes to go here in this first half. Jalen Brown with the ball now as he drives. They're going to get him for a travel. Yeah, everything right now, the signs are turning to the momentum is with Hilbert. And again, we talk about it time and time again, Jeff, that these slow starts for LaRoche at home, they're going to have to stop at some point, you would think.
Yeah, most definitely. And a lot of levels, especially at college basketball, it's a game of runs, right? And what the Redhawks are so good at the Kerr is minimizing those runs. But you see Hilbert shooting these threes, and they're out to a 5-point lead here. But it's almost like the Redhawks are pressing on the offensive end.
And so Hilbert gets another quick two there as they go up 21-14.
This Hilbert team is very active coming off the rim on both ends. I don't believe that the Redhawks have had offensive rebound, and the Hilbert Hawks are swallowing off boards on the offensive end.
Yeah, LaRoche also, not to take matters out of hand so far early on here, but their offensive scheme just doesn't seem to be fitting right now. They're pushing a lot of things, and I think they feel like they should be winning this game right now, and it's only 6-7 minutes into the game. It's not won or lost here this early on, and I feel like they're pushing on the offensive end a little too much because of how well this Hilbert team is scoring. And so a three there from the Hawks as it's going to go off the rim and touch pieces of the backboard, or pieces of the hoop, I would say. So that's going to be LaRoche's ball.
Frederick coming back in here off that possession, and I think this is where the Redhawks really need to maybe culminate more of an offensive scheme here. Run the shot clock down there. Like you said, they're taking a lot of early shots. Get Frederick involved and lull this Hilbert team to sleep and slow their momentum down. Absolutely.
Try to win a couple offensive possessions here, and even if that takes the full 30, and again, we see Hilbert there is another steal just because of bad ball decision and bad ball movement for this LaRoche team.
Yeah, Messiah Phillips there is seemingly everywhere on the court. He's flying around.
Yeah, this Hilbert team has a lot of veteran leadership too, as they started 4 seniors. And so the seniors are trying to come in here. And we mentioned pregame also. And there we go. There's Fredericks for the slam dunk as he gets going on the offensive end with 2.
Just what the Redhawks needed there. Look, get the crowd back into it and get a big confidence boost from his end. First time he touches the ball, throws it down. Absolutely.
So like I was saying early on, LaRoche has won 7 straight against this Hilbert team. 2 this year and 2 last year and 1 the year before. Or excuse me, the last 3 years have swept them and 1 the year before. So, 7 straight for this LaRoche team is quite a feat in conference. And Hilbert wants to stop that today. They want, especially at the Kerr. And so we see a great charge there, or take of a charge, excuse me, from Tyler Frederick. So he does it both ends. Again, we talked about him being the guy in this game that's going to have to be the dominant factor, and he's doing a good job of that so far in this section portion that he's been in. So Frederick drives again, and a 2 for the lay-in. So 2 offensive possessions and a defensive possession, all working through Frederick, and he does a really good job to cut this lead here to 3 for Hilbert.
Yeah, keep giving him the ball. Make Hilbert stop him. He's athletic. He could work with the basketball. He could most definitely dribble, as you saw on that offensive possession. Let him go to work.
When you have a playmaker like Frederick, it's so hard to not let him take the game over. You don't want him to do it early on because you want him to be able to play the whole game. But I feel like he has the ability to single-handedly win this game for LaRoche today if he can do it on both ends of the floor. So the foul there is going to go on Hannes and Messiah Phillips to shoot 2 free throws here. Phillips' first is good, as the lead is now to 4 for the Hilbert Hawks.
And I couldn't really tell in pregame warm-ups, Philip, but number 3, Jovanovic, they got him listed as 6'5", and I didn't even notice. He's got the 3 threes thus far, and him stand next to Frederick, they're comparable on height. So that's great length for the Hilbert Hawks.
Absolutely,
in that regard.
yeah, absolutely, because he could play on the defensive end. He could play that 4 spot, and also have the ability to play the 3 on the offensive end. And so another pushed offensive possession there for LaRoche. That, yes, they want to get Frederick going again there, but the alley-oop just kind of seemed a little too much there as they pushed that possession. But a good job on the defensive end to draw a foul and go back the other way. So we see Torrey Hawkins check in for his first action of this one so far. So Hannes brings the ball down here, hands it off to Hawkins. Hawkins driving. Kicks to Pipolo. Pipolo drives. Fadeaway 2, and that's good. So Joe Pipolo early on has provided a little bit of an offensive spark here for LaRoche, as he's got 7 so far. So Hawkins guards here. Good defensive rebound there for Luke McDonough as LaRoche comes back the other way with a chance to tie this ball game up or take the lead. Pipolo for 3, that's off the mark. But a great offensive rebound there by McDonough. McDonough goes to Hannes, Hannes for 3, and that's good. 3 ball there by LaRoche, started by Luke McDonough on the offensive boards there. So LaRoche now regains the lead 23-22 here at the Kerr Fitness Center.
Yeah, Hannes deep in the Kerr Fitness Center, and a complete shift in this last 3 or 4 minutes here going in the favor of the Redhawks.
And again, a testament to you talking about the game of runs. We see Hilbert go on a quick 7-0 run, and then LaRoche by themselves goes on an 8-0 run, now 8-2 run. And LaRoche is starting to push the pleasure. And so a timeout there by Hilbert as they take a 1-point lead. They're going to slow this pace down of the game, so we're going to take a timeout as well. That's going to be a full timeout, so we'll be back here in about a minute on the on the LaRoche University Sports Network. Back here at the Kerr. Sorry, that was a 30-second timeout, not a minute timeout for Hilbert. So both teams still with 4 timeouts. LaRoche is going to get a possession here on offense. They're down 1, losing to Hilbert here at home, 24-23, 9:35 remaining.
Yeah, I think going into that timeout, Philip, you saw a little bit of frustration there from Austin Hannes, and I think he was telling the ref, like, I have the ball inbounds, and Hilbert's still able to call a timeout. And that kind of killed their momentum going east to west right after Hilbert just scored. And the fast pace was working there the past couple minutes for the Redhawks. So Hannes is saying, how are they allowed to call a timeout there when I got the ball almost at half court?
Absolutely. And Coach Carmichael had a conversation with the referee about that in second there. He said, I understand that timeout maybe was called before we got the inbound, but the whistle wasn't blown. You can't blow a whistle once the ball is in play here. And if you do, you got to just keep the possession going. So we see a 3 from Darius Lawrence there as that pushed off the mark. And so a quick transition 2 for Hilbert there. And we see this LaRoche team pushing back at him. Lawrence goes in, passes it out to Hannes. Torrey Hawkins now with the ball as he's going to dribble around. Hawkins drives, kicks it, tries to go into Frederick. Frederick with the ball. That's going to be blocked. So good defensive possession there as the ball goes to the corner there for Vinovich. Vinovich for 3, and that's good. So he is 4 for 4 from beyond the arc in this game so far, and has got 14 points.
He's super dynamic from what we've seen of him thus far, and he got Torrey off his feet there in the corner and just moved one step over and hit a dagger.
Yeah, the 6'5" freshman there with another block. And he's not, I mean, like I said, off the bench with 14 here in the first 12 is very impressive, as the Roche is going to have to find some way to stop him. And a good offensive rebound there as it goes in for John Evans. And so this lead is now to 8 for Hilbert. So there it goes again. We talked about the game runs, 10-0 in favor of Hilbert in the last 2 minutes.
And even going back to the timeout, where we were just talking about how Coach Herman was talking to the refs. But if you're on the Hilbert side, that's genius. I mean, when you come to the Kerr, you have to find small little techniques here and there that are going to help you win. You see the timeout there. The Redhawks, Austin Hannes, get a little bit frustrated. Hilbert comes out, and it's an absolute blitzkrieg from them, led by number 3, Jovanovic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a freshman coming off the bench in a tough road game like this, he has really came to play. I mean, he has a steal, a block on the defensive end, and has got 4 for 4 from behind the arc. So the game plan in the last minutes of this first half and the second half is going to be to find a way to stop him. So ball goes to Lawrence. Screen there by Fredericks. Lawrence shoots the quick 2, and that's good. So LaRoche is going to have to get a couple stops here to try to get the momentum back in their favor. As Hilbert slows it down a little bit, it looks like they're going to set up a little bit of an offense to try to keep the lead in their favor as long as they can.
And it might be a little bit hard to tell on the broadcast, but this Hilbert crowd has come out, and you can hear them down there every time the Hilbert scores. There's a pretty good sized roar, and they traveled pretty well today.
And a good trip. That's a good trip from Buffalo as they hit another 3. And that is Carmanos as he hits from 3. So LaRoche now is going to take another timeout, a full timeout here. And so it's going to be 34-25 with 7 minutes remaining here in this first half. We're going to be back here on the Roche University Sports Network. Back here at the Kerr as coming out of the timeout. And we talked about there at the timeout, me and you, Jeff, that this Hilbert team has shot unbelievable from beyond the arc to start this game. And you got something to say about that.
Yeah, if you're the Redhawks and you're Coach Herman at this point, you can't be pleased with the defensive effort, but you got to remind your guys that hopefully they're not going to shoot that good all game. I mean, the live stats have them 5 of 7 for 3, 70%. And that's just something that hopefully will regress as this game goes on and the Redhawks can take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. And only be down 9 with a team shooting 70% from 3 is something to not hang your hat on, but it to be okay with as it goes down here. And so we see a dribble drive there by a good steal by Frederick as he pushes the pace here. Frederick down the court. It's going to get a lay-in, and that's going to be good for the and 1. So Tyler Frederick, again, doing it on both ends of the floor as he goes and gets the chance for the three-point play here.
Yeah, that was an impressive coast-to-coast sequence there, and having the wherewithal and the body control to finish that through the contact. Very impressive there from Frederick.
Absolutely, and we see Frederick again. He has just done it all this season so far. I mean, even through all the adversity, I mean, he's continued to put up big games. I mean, 30-point games from him, and double doubles on a constant basis. And somebody like that, if you could just have him on a day in day out basis, you're gonna have a really good year just alone through him. So we see the 3-point play converted here. Martineau for 3. That's off the mark. The ball's going to stay. Nope, excuse me. Good tip there by Hannes to get it out of bounds off Hilbert. So LaRoche is, Hilbert is leading 34-28. 6 minutes remaining here in this first half. As LaRoche gets another chance to cut this lead down as much as they can. So Hannes now with the ball. Hands to Pippola. Pippola with the ball now is going to give it to Lawrence. Lawrence get a screen from Frederick. Lawrence drives. Going to get a chance for 2. And it's going to be tipped out of bounds there by Hilbert. Again, not a very good offensive possession there for LaRoche. So nothing really going. Yes, the drive is what you're going to have to do against this Hilbert team on the man-to-man defense, Jeff. But it's not going to work every single time. They're going to have to set up some sort of offense to get point opportunities. And there you go. You see something out of the break, get the ball to Frederick like we've been saying all day, and now the lead cut to 4.
Yeah, we're getting a little zone read here from the Redhawks defense to try to cut down the 3 percentage.
And a good roll, a LaRoche roll there, but an offensive rebound for Hilbert as they grab 2 there. So Hermie Carmichael, like you said, goes to the zone to try to keep hands and faces of 3-point shooters. And we see Ross drives, quick 2, and that's good.
Yeah, now in the zone defense, though, 2 possessions zone, and Hilbert 0 for 2 on 3s, but now you got to be physical down low if you're going to play this zone and get rebounds on the defensive end.
Again, another offensive rebound there by Hilbert is at least to another 2. So LaRoche, yes, the defense seems to have changed the 3-point shooting aspect of it, but the offensive board have been there for Hilbert. I mean, 3 for 3 now in the last 3 possessions on offensive rebound and a quick 2. So Pippola from 3, and that's good. So this freshman Pippola, Joe Pippola, has really came to play early on and tried to take a full advantage of Kennedy Smith being out, as he now has 10 now.
Yeah, that shot's impressive. His elbows go straight up like a ladder, and it looks pure from deep.
So another quick 2 by Hilbert as LaRoche can't get a stop on the defensive end. So Hilbert leading 40-35, 4 minutes remaining here. Both teams shooting the ball really well so far. Offensive game, like we said and mentioned early on, it's going to be like that. And so Frederick from 3, that's off the mark. So Martineau drives, kicks there to, a good LaRoche roll there off the Carmanos 3. And so Roche comes back the other way. They're going to get a foul there early on Martineau. So the ball is going to stay with LaRoche here. But that was one of those 3-pointers on the other end from Carmanos that you thought was in for sure, and it stayed out.
I mean, a quick glimpse at this Hilbert team pushing it up and down the court. They almost look kind of reckless, but they have people open at spots, and they're scrappy down low. They're getting those offensive rebounds, and they're going right up with it. They're not letting Frederick get his hands active, and there's really haven't been any shots blocked from the Redhawks.
Yeah, this Hilbert team is you could say, like, motivated and determined to come in here and get a big win and really propel themselves to try to get to that top spot in the AMCC. I mean, they're 6-3, but with a loss here, LaRoche falls to 8-2. They'll go to 7-3. They're 1 game behind the leading team in the AMCC.
Yeah, and you can't have missed free throws here, trying to come back from a 5-point deficit, especially at the end of the half. And Austin Hannes knows that, and that's something that they all work on a lot, but still you got to capitalize on the easy ones.
Yeah, this LaRoche team does a very good job of shooting the free throws. We see a lot. I mean, they shoot, I think, a 79% from the free throw line, which is very good. But one thing we notice is they never have rebounders, and so the 1-on-1 there with a miss just gives the ball right to Hilbert without any problem. And so Martineau drives, gets the foul, and that's good for an and 1 opportunity. So a foul there by Darius Lawrence as Martineau will shoot the free throw to try to convert the three-point play.
And me and you know both, especially with like the free throw aspect. I mean, we see them throughout the week, and if we talk to them about the previous game, even if they blew someone out there, we didn't play good enough. We didn't do this. We didn't go hard enough. We could have made our free throws better. I mean, these guys are grinders. They're here to work, and they want to make the Red Hawk community proud day in and day out.
Absolutely, and it starts, like you said, with the free throws and the little things. And so if they recognize that, they're going to have success as the day goes on. So Hilbert leads 42-37, a 5-point lead here with about 2:45 remaining in this half. So the ball goes in, a good steal there by Frederick, but it's going to get taken back there, and that's going to be a bad turnover by, Jovanovic, sorry, excuse me. So really the first miscue by the freshman Jovanovic. I mean, again, keeps that ball on the offensive end, just makes an errant pass, and you can't, again, ask for him to do anything else. You know, you're going to have those mistakes as a freshman, and what he's done so far has kept Hilbert with the lead in this game.
It's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, almost 20 minutes of flawless basketball, and his only mistake is an errant no-look pass. I mean, that's a pretty good half for the freshman.
Absolutely, and so Martineau with the drives, that's going to be in for two. So the lead for Hilbert up to 7. Lawrence kicks it back out to Hannes. Hannes for 3. That's good. So we got a foul on Hilbert. So they're going to say the shot counts.
Yes.
And we're going to go have we're going to have Lawrence go to the line, I think, to shoot. Oh, no, Frederick's going to go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. So a chance for 5 points on this possession, which is huge, trying to get back in this game.
Hannes deep in the Kerr again. He loves that spot over there by the coach Scott Lang insignia, and very fortunate to get more points potential out of this possession.
And that's the thing that Hilbert's going to have to minimize in this second half if they're going to actually want to win here at the Kerr today. It is not give opportunities to LaRoche that they're not going to get on a usual basis. You know, hopefully Frederick makes 2 free throws here, which you see him make the first, hopefully makes the second, and then the lead's cut to 3. I mean, cut to 2. If Hilbert can continue to not make mistakes like this, it's going to be a good game in the stretch. But if they do make mistakes as such, they're going to have a struggle to win this game here.
And that's the beauty of basketball right there. I mean, when you have 2 good teams playing in front of you, I mean, it's crazy how one miscue on the offensive end, throw the ball away, and then just have an unfortunate bad possession. And now it's a one bucket game here.
So Hilbert now with the ball. 3-point lead, 44-41, 1:38 remaining in this half. This LaRoche zone is kind of confused this Hilbert team a little bit as Martineau shoots a short 2. That's going to be a good rebound there by Fredericks as he pushed the pace a little bit here. So Lawrence drives, going to pick up a foul there. Foul's going to go on number 4, Ryan Hogan. So Lawrence is going to go to the free throw line to shoot two. Now he's going to shoot double bonus here. No, excuse me. That'd be a 19 foul, so it'll be still the 1-and-1.
And I know we talk about this a lot, but more than ever, I would love to be a fly on the wall in both of these teams' locker rooms at halftime for the adjustments, because each team is going to have something specific to work on. I mean, Coach Hermie's going to say, is the zone working, and how can we perfect that zone to make sure that the three-point percentage from the Hawks go down? And Hilbert, in their own right, is going to say, well, we did this right in the first half, but how can we continue that and have success in the second half of this game?
And we talk about both the coaches, men and women's, for LaRoche, how good they are at halftime, strategic plays and halftime adjustments. I mean, we see Coach Carmichael do it every single day here at the Kerr, and we see Coach Cam just sit there and do it every day for the women's. And so if LaRoche can just stay in this game to end this first half, they're going to come out in the second half and know what to do to win the game. And so two free throws there for Darius Lawrence as the lead is cut to 1 for Hilbert. One attempt there for Vinovich as he missed. So that'll be his first miss on the day. And a good sign for this LaRoche team as they get a quick stop on defensive end and a chance to take the lead as the ball goes out to Hannes. Hannes for 3. That's off the mark. Good offensive rebound there by McDonough to kick it back out. Ball goes into Frederick here, so another chance for opportunity for points for LaRoche.
And McDonough has had some good plays on the offensive rebounding side where maybe he's not showing up in the stat book crazy right now, but he's keeping this Red Hawk team energized on the offensive
Absolutely,
end.
and we see him from 3 there as that's off the mark. So 32 seconds remaining here in this first half. About a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. And it looks like Hilbert is going to take a timeout. So we're going to take a short one here also. LaRoche is down 1, 44-43, 24 seconds remaining in this first half. We'll be right back here on the LaRoche University Sports Network. So out of the timeout here by Hilbert. 20 seconds remaining in this first half. Martineau on the drive, going to give it back here to Messiah Phillips as he's going to be fouled by Pipolo. So he'll shoot 2 free throws. Messiah Phillips will shoot 2. Pipolo with his second of the game. Messiah Phillips' first one's good. Lead up to 2 here for Hilbert. Messiah Phillips with his second one here. That's good. So LaRoche has got 12 seconds here for a final possession. Down 3. Lawrence drives, kicks out, Pipolo for 3. That's off the mark. Hilbert's going to get a chance as they heave it down. That's not going to go. So Hilbert will be leading at half here. 46-43 at the end of this first. So we're going to take a break here during this halftime. We'll be back at the end of the halftime for a little report on the stats and things to look for. So LaRoche down by 3 in this first half, and we'll be right back here at the end of halftime for second half basketball at the LaRoche University Sports Network. Back here at the Kerr Fitness Center after the halftime there for the men's action. Hilbert leads 46-43 to start this second half, and it's going to be Hilbert's ball coming out of the break here. So, Jeff, what are we going to look for LaRoche to win this game today at the end in the second half?
I got a couple bullet points here, Philip, for LaRoche second half adjustments. I got perfect zone defense or find a way to make the man defense work, run guys off of spots, and limit threes primarily, and specifically number 3, Jovanovic. I mean, he basically killed him in the first half with 16. I got play their game on offense, so don't let this Hilbert team dictate the whole pace of the game, and keep Frederick involved is my exclamation point.
So we see the same starting 5 as the first half for LaRoche, so we're going to see, but again, switch from the man to the zone here, and so the zone's going to play a big difference. As a 3-ball for Jovanovic just goes in. I mean, he has been lights out from beyond the arc. To start this second half, he has a big 3. So offensive possession here for LaRoche as Lawrence drives, kicks to Hannes. Hannes dribbles, guarded by Phillips. McDonough now drives, kicks out to Frederick. 9 on the shot clock. Frederick from 3, and that's good. A big answer there for LaRoche as they don't mess up an offensive opportunity there after a 3 from Hilbert. So we see again the offensive scoring continue to keep going here early on in this second half.
And what the Redhawks have to be careful with in the zone is, I mean, if you look at their guys on the court right now, Lawrence 5'11", Hannes 5'11". I mean, we know Frederick has a height, but closing out on Jovanovic isn't going to be enough. He's listed at 6'4". He arguably might be taller, and he's got plenty of length. So closing out, if one of the smaller guards on LaRoche is closing out, that's not going to be enough. He just shoots right over him.
Great defensive possession areas for LaRoche while you're talking. I mean, the shot clock violation on Hilbert. So a full 30 seconds that they played really good defense and didn't let a shot go off. It's a good sign as the second half leads on, as they try to cut this lead back on the offensive end now to try to score on 2 straight possessions.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, they can't. Hilbert can't be forcing the ball to Jovanovic on offense. It's got to come organically. And me and you both know that one guy isn't going to beat this Redhawks team.
So Hannes with the ball here, kicks to Desmond Ross as he checked in for McDonough. Ball goes into Frederick. Frederick with a good hook there for 2. So his offensive tear continues as he's got 5 in the first 2 minutes of this second half. So this zone defense still giving Hilbert a little trouble as Phillips from 3. That's off the mark. Good defensive rebound there by Frederick. He tips it out to Hannes. Hannes drives. He's got to pull back out, slow this possession down, try to take the lead against this Hilbert Hawks team. Hannes drives. Floater for 2. That's off the mark. Back on the offensive end, though, and that's going to go. It's going to stay with LaRoche here.
And Hannes out of the locker room, like we observed, limping a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't affect his pace of play or that doesn't develop into anything more. But a little bit of a limp coming out of the locker room to start the second half. But
absolutely.
He looked okay on that possession.
Yeah, with the way he shot the 3-ball early on there in that first half, you're going to need him to continue through the rest of this second half to hopefully get a win here at home at the Kerr. So Ross here picks up his dribble, goes to Hannes. Hannes drives. And we see him go down there. We think he just slipped. Yeah, he looks like he's okay. So just a slip. We're going to get a travel call there. But a little bit scary. You know, you just talked about it, and he goes down hard. So
they need to go out and mop over there after
absolutely.
He just took a spill.
So Hilbert now with the ball drives in. 2 is in good. Lead extended to 3 here, 51-48, 17-18 remaining here in this second half. So Ross with the ball. Ross kicks to Pipolo. Pipolo for 3. That's good. Got a tie game here at the Kerr, 51-51, as Pipolo continues his tear here at the Kerr on the offensive end. And so this Jim getting a little bit into it here as the Kerr starts to jump around a little bit. Martineau kicks, 3-ball up and good for Carmanos. So Hilbert again continues to shoot the lights out of it from beyond the arc here. Desmond Ross drives, kicks out to Lawrence. Lawrence drives, kicks to Pipolo. Pipolo for three. That's off the mark there. Frederick, good offensive rebound as Hannes kicks out to Ross. Ross for three. And that's not going to go.
And an unfortunate sequence there. I mean, the refs missed the travel from Hilbert on the other end.
So ball gets thrown up to Phillips here as he's going to carry it out of bounds. But there's no foul called. So ball's going to go LaRoche here. So turnover on Hilbert's end. So we see Gianni Smith check in for Henderson. He didn't get any action in that first half, which was surprising to us because we thought early on here when we were talking about future starters and potential starters for Kennedy Smith, we threw his name around a little bit. So him not to play at all in the first half was a little surprising. So we'll see what he can do here in the second half as his legs should be fresh here early on. So Frederick drives, kicks to Smith. Smith for the open three. That's off the mark. Not even close, but a good steal there as he's going to give it back there to Hilbert. But a good job to try to get another possession out of it. So ball's going to stay with Hilbert. So that shows, though, like we said, we were talking about Johnny Smith there, like not playing in the first half and not being able to get your footing as a freshman. It's hard to come in and shoot an open three like that.
Yeah, I mean, even me and you talked about during warm-ups, the Redhawks weren't shooting particularly well from beyond the arc, and it's kind of crazy that Johnny Smith didn't see any floor time there in the first half.
Absolutely. We saw that he was going to have plenty of playing time after some good rebound there by Frederick as he's going to keep the ball here. So Smith will bring the ball back down the floor. Hilbert still leading 54-51. He's going to kick the Pipolo, but that's going to be a charge going back the other way. So Johnny Smith a little reckless as he drives in the paint there, and a good charge there taken by Carmanos.
And this game's losing a little bit of structure here. I mean, emotions are definitely high here starting the second half, and it's been a little reckless from both sides thus far.
Yeah, we talked to the PA announcer at halftime there, and he said it was getting a little chippy on the floor, and things were going to start to turn out of control here. So we're going to see if LaRoche can continue to hold around, and as they're going to get Pipolo for a block, that's going to be his third. So that's something we're going to have to watch for here in this second half here. So Carmanos will shoot two here. And again, not that we could ever say these freshmen haven't done a good job, but just the body control differences between some of the older players. Where Johnny Smith goes down and his body was just a little bit out of control going down the floor there and takes a charge. And then Pipolo there tries to be have a good idea to take a charge, and it just doesn't have his feet set. And so it's one of those ones where we're seeing these freshmen try to make plays, but it's just not working out in their favor right now.
I mean, we talk about it a lot with this Redhawks team, but often less is more. I mean, you don't have to be the superhero guy out there. Play within your scheme and play with your guys next to you, and good things will happen.
So Desmond Ross now with the ball as Hannes comes in for Pipolo. Frederick with the ball now as he drives. Kicks there to Lawrence. They're going to get they're going to get Warren Richardson with the foul. So Hilbert leading 55-51 here. So John Evans checks in for Warren Richardson here. Ball goes into Frederick. Frederick for a two, and that's good. So we see a quick inbound there. They just gave the ball to the playmaker and said, make a play. And that's exactly what Frederick did there. So a good tip there from Darius Lawrence. And another good tip there from Hannes. The ball is going to stay with Hilbert.
Yeah, and I think you got to keep giving the ball to Frederick on the offensive end. He's the best of both worlds. I mean, he's gonna bang down low and hopefully slow down the pace of play a little bit and put some points up on the board for the Redhawks.
Yeah, and we talk about all the time, when you run an offense through him, it opens up three-point shooting also because they're going to have to double team down low, and it's going to have that corner option open. And so if you can start to move the ball into him, Hilbert's going to have to pull the pace of play in toward the middle as we see a three there by Martin, who as this three-point shooting continues to tear for this Hilbert Hawks team. I mean, they are shooting over 50% from three, and that is just outrageous when you really want to think about it. So Frederick's bringing the ball down. Good job to pull it back out here as they go to Hannes. Hannes for three. That's in good. And we see a timeout for Hermie Carmichael, so the lead cut to 2 for Hilbert, and a good offensive possession there. So we're going to get a 30-second timeout here for LaRoche. We'll be right back here on the LaRoche University Sports Network. Back here at the Kerr Fitness Center after a timeout from LaRoche, as Hilbert's going to have the ball here, up 58-56, 13:47 remaining. Like we said at after the break there, Jeff, there's a lot of time remaining in this game, and it's going to really come see who can withstand each other's pressure. I mean, LaRoche is obviously going to continue to push on the offensive end, but can they stop the three-point shooting from Hilbert? And so with a lot of time left, it's going to be interesting to see how well each team can carry on for the next 14 or such minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a back and forth battle for sure.
So Gianni Smith guards there. Drive there by Martineau. Kick out. There's 3 off the mark, and a good save there by the freshman. 2 off the mark, but another offensive rebound. So we get Austin Hannes with a foul. So 2 offensive rebounds back to back there for Hilbert. As we talked about it earlier in the first half, that's what the LaRoche can't do as they continue on in the second half.
Yeah, it's kind of been a recurring theme all day. I mean, you get one stop, and then Hilbert comes and gets an offensive rebound, and it kind of takes all the wind out of your sails from the first stop.
Yep, and so a good steal by Gianni Smith there as they come back the other way. Go into Frederick. Frederick now makes a good move. No foul called as he gets mugged. Wow. So a drive by Martineau, a quick kick off there, and a 2 there by Evans. So Hannes pushing the pace here as he goes to Ross. Ross for 3, a little bit rushed. That's off the mark.
And how about a good game that number 23, John Evans, is putting together? I mean,
absolutely.
I know we've been focusing on Jovanovic the whole game, but he's quietly has 10 points for this Hilbert Hawks team.
Yep. So Johnny Smith drives here. Good take. He's going to get fouled and one opportunity. So good job there by Johnny Smith to draw the foul and have the body control to make that 2, as he's going to have a chance to convert the 3-point play. So we see McDonough check in for Frederick as they're going to give him a little break, because I really feel like Tyler Frederick is going to have to play the last 10 minutes of this game the whole time. You know, I mean, he's got to be the guy at the end of this game for LaRoche. And so we see Gianni Smith to shoot the free throw.
And if you're Coach Hermie Carmichael here, I mean, you have to really respect the in-game evolution and changes from the freshman Johnny Smith. He comes in, he misses a shot pretty bad, and then he has that offensive foul. And what does he do the third time? He has almost a similar opportunity. He goes down, great body control, and he gets to the rack and puts it in.
Absolutely, a good rebound there by Lawrence, as Lawrence makes a 3, as LaRoche takes the lead here. So a great offensive rebound from Lawrence, and then gets a 3-point dagger there as LaRoche leads 61-60. And a missed 3-pointer there for Hilbert, but the ball gets stolen back there. Ball goes to Evans. Good block by McDonough. And so the Kerr getting a little loud here. So Pipolo comes here for Lawrence.
I mean, you could already tell there's still 12 minutes left on the clock, but sitting up here, you can almost see that this game could go down to the final possession. I mean, it's got great atmosphere right now.
Wow, Phillips with a three-pointer there. Messiah Phillips as Hilbert regains the lead. Desmond Ross drives. He's going to get fouled. Foul's going to go on Carmanos. So Desmond Ross to inbound here as LaRoche tries to tie this ball game up or retake the lead. Johnny Smith drives, and he's going to get the two to go. And that is what Johnny Smith brings to the table. We've seen it now. I mean, the dribble drive for Johnny Smith is just above average for most freshmen, and he's done a really good job settling in and getting himself 4 points here. And a 2-point there for Vonovich. And so again, possessions trading back and forth. We're going to get a timeout here for Hilbert as they lead 65-63. So we'll be back here shortly on the Roche University Sports Network. Back here at the Kerr Fitness Center out of the Hilbert timeout as LaRoche will have a chance for the offensive opportunity here. Johnny Smith to bring the ball down the floor. Pipolo, Hannes, Ross, and Frederick on the court alongside Johnny Smith, the 5 for LaRoche, as they are down by 2 here. Hannes for the pull-up 2, and that's off the mark. And he's usually money from that free throw line all the time. So that's tough to see there as that ball doesn't go in the role that he wants it. Messiah Phillips from 3, and that's good. So 2 big back-to-back threes there by Messiah Phillips.
And almost an interesting dynamic developing here, Phillip. I mean, how many times this season have we seen the Redhawks trailing with 10 minutes left to go in the second half, or trading buckets with the team? I mean, just another step in the formation for this team. Just how much adversity can they get over down 5 here with 11 minutes to go?
So we see a timeout called there by Johnny Smith on the floor as the ball is rolling around. So we're going to take a full timeout here as well. We'll be back here on LaRoche University Sports Network. tries to get the pass there to Hannes. That's going to be a missed opportunity there for LaRoche.
And that possession right there, before Darius Lawrence checks in, you have 3 freshman guards out there for the Redhawks, which I'm sure they haven't seen a lot of in-game time together. I mean, with Piplo's injury at the beginning of the season, so that might have been just a little test run there for Ernie Carmichael to see if they could execute the offense.
Absolutely. And we also see Johnny Smith has provided an offensive spark with the dribble drive, and Darius Lawrence, we obviously know, is a very good defensive player. As another three for Hilbert goes in. So Darius Lawrence now hands to Hannes. Hannes drives, kicks to Pipolo. So Carmanos is going to get a foul as Frederick is down a little longer than usual here. So he's taking a second to get up. We're hoping he's okay. His knee looks a little... So a little right knee injury for Frederick. Is he still shaken up by it? So Darius Lawrence the inbound here, goes to Hannes. So Hannes goes to Pipolo. Pipolo drives, kicks back out to Ross. Screen there by Frederick. Back to Pipolo. Pipolo from 3, and that's off the mark. They're going to get Darius Lawrence with a foul here.
And I mean, at this point, Hilbert with 11 of 21 from 3 still. I mean, you got to give it up to him in the first half for shooting the lights out of the ball, but at this point, some adjustments have to be made in order to shut them down shooting beyond the arc.
I agree. I mean, it's really crazy to see a team that is shooting this well from beyond the arc at a constant pace. I mean, it's a testament to the Hilbert team to know that their strength. I mean, we see another 3 up here, and that's good. I mean, from all over the place. This Hilbert team is now up 11 with 10 minutes remaining here at the Kerr Fitness Center. Pipolo for 3. That's off the mark. Hilbert now pushing the pace. And a layup is good too. So 13 points here for LaRoche. As Frederick gets a quick 2 there. So LaRoche is going to have to get a couple stops here on the defensive end as we see, I mean, just complete game takeover from the freshman Jovanovic today. I mean, he has played the best game of his career, you would almost say, the way he shot from beyond the arc. And so Hilbert now still looking to add to this lead as Martineau drives, and that's good for 2. I mean, a team that averages 80 points is almost at 80 with 8 minutes to go here.
A very impressive offensive showing thus far from the Hilbert Hawks. I mean, over half of their points from 3-pointers is kind of crazy. And now the Redhawks just making unforced errors on the offensive end.
Turnover there for LaRoche.
Sure, it's a 13-point deficit you're looking at now, but still with 8+ minutes left, I mean, nothing to take out of hand, blow out of proportion. I mean, you've come back from more in the past, and
oh, absolutely. I mean, this LaRoche team, we've seen them come back from a lot more than this. And with 8 minutes remaining, there's a ton of time. I mean, all you need this Hilbert team to do is get a little cold from outside the arc, and you're right back in this game. And a good start there as Frederick gets the rebound. He's going back down the floor here. Pressured. Oh, my gosh. An intentional foul by Martineau as he just mugs Darius Lawrence going down the floor. So Lawrence will go to the free throw line here, obviously. So 2 shots here for Lawrence and the ball back for LaRoche. So again, not a momentum killer, but LaRoche has got to take something out of this. I mean, hopefully 2 free throws here and get the possession. It's a good way to cut the lead. And so Lawrence makes the first one.
Yeah, like you said, this is just what the Redhawks needed at this point. I mean, get a little bit of a break with Lawrence shooting these free throws, and you're going to get the ball back. But definitely free throws are going to be big here coming down the stretch.
Absolutely. So this LaRoche team needs to make all they can, as that one is not good. So it's going to stay here with LaRoche, down 12, 8 minutes remaining. But again, a lot of time. I mean, hopefully this LaRoche team can find something on the offensive end to get going. I mean, they have been cold. I mean, they're 0 for 4 in the last four three-point attempts. And so if they can continue to find ways to put balls in the bucket and get stops, they're going to be okay. So ball goes out to Hannes. Hannes to Lawrence. Lawrence gets the screen. Lawrence drives, 2 off the mark. That ball's going to go with LaRoche as it hits off Martineau. So good hand there by Hannes to get the tip and stay here with LaRoche.
I mean, we saw in the first half, we saw this Redhawks team and Hilbert respectively go on 6-0, 8-0 runs here. I mean, just one run like that from the Redhawks, and it's going to be a one-possession game here.
So Johnny Smith goes to Lawrence. He kicks it out to Hannes. Frederick from 3. That's good. A big 3 from Tyler Frederick there. So this lead now cut to 9. And so a big stop here from LaRoche would be huge. Big momentum swing if they can get a stop and then a set of points here.
And they're back to the man on this defensive possession.
Yeah, I think down the stretch you're going to have to go to man. You're going to have to see if your defense is better than their offense at this point. And you're going to hopefully they're not going to keep shooting the way the 3 ball is. But a good drive there as they go right past Pipolo for 2. So Hannes for 3. That's good. So 8 now lead for Hilbert. So Martineau with the ball now. 6:45 remaining. Hilbert leading LaRoche 80. And a 2 there off the mark. That's going to be Johnny Smith with the rebound. So a chance to cut this lead even more here. Johnny Smith drives. They're going to get a foul here. It's going to go on the freshman Jovanovic. Two shots here for Johnny Smith. So again, free throws. We say it all the time. These are 2 that you can't miss on. I mean, you cut this lead to 6 here with 6 remaining. You're in this ball game.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, you got to keep going to the rim. I think you got to play from the inside out here if you're the Redhawks. I think when it ballooned to a 13-point lead for the Hilbert Hawks, I think the Redhawks were forcing threes on the offensive end, and they were trying to work outside in. And in the last couple possessions, it's been a refreshing change.
So Johnny Smith, first one was off the mark, so he's going to shoot the second one here. Second one is off the mark also. But a good job by Smith to try to get a rebound there, and he keeps the ball with LaRoche. Yeah, okay, so we're going to get shot clock change there. It's going to be 20 seconds here, so LaRoche's ball.
And yeah, you obviously would have liked to see Johnny Smith hit both free throws there, but with some good hustle bounces going the Redhawks' way now. A couple balls kicked out of bounds by the Hilbert Hawks to retain possession.
Hannes from 3, and that's good. Right in the face of Messiah Phillips. So 5-point lead now. LaRoche on a 7-0 run here. Messiah Phillips now. Oh, he's gonna get a travel. Hannes will stumble a little bit backward, but Messiah Phillips with the travel. So another turnover for Hilbert. We're gonna get a timeout from Hilbert as we here are at the Kerr Fitness Center. LaRoche getting a little bit momentum now, only down 5. So we're gonna be right back here at the Kerr Fitness Center on the LaRoche University Sports Network. Back here at the Curve Fitness Center as LaRoche will have the chance to cut this lead even more as they are on a 7-0 run here. Like we said, I mean, the offense has been producing. Again, the defense just hasn't been there. We talk about just getting some stops because this offense can score. I mean, we see Frederick with 22. We see Hannes with 19. Lawrence with 14. I mean, they can get points on the board. They just got to get some stops as Hannes goes in for a quick 2. And he's got 21 now. And he's got that limp showing a little bit more like we talked about as the lead is 3 now for Hilbert.
What an impressive game for him thus far. I mean, going to need him more down the stretch, but almost we get to see the Curve fitness effect right in play here. I mean, you saw the travel from Hilbert on their last offensive possession and see if they're going to bend or break.
I agree. Oh, Gianni Smith gets off. And a missed 3 there by the freshman Jovanovic as Hannes pushes the pace. No, he's not. From 3. It's in there good as LaRoche ties this ball game up. 13-0 run for LaRoche here. We have an 80 all game with 5 minutes remaining as this Curve Fitness Center is starting to rock. Martin pushes. Frederick, Garden here. Mismatch down low. It's going to be a good 2 there for Warren Richardson as they cut that 13-0 drought. So Lawrence drives. They're going to get a foul here on Richardson.
And you almost got to say, you got to give it back to Hannes, but this is the perfect opportunity for someone else to be open. Everyone on the Hilbert defense is looking at number 10. Someone else is going to be open here.
Absolutely. And Frederick's got, and you can see his knees shaking up a little bit. So is Hannes. We just got to see if they can get the ball to someone else because Hannes is doing everything he can to keep him in this game. So 2 free throws here for Lawrence to tie this game up. So a veteran senior here trying to make 2 free throws to keep this game tied at 82. First one is good. And I think if you're Herman Carmichael, and yes, Hannes has continued to play absolutely so well, but you know they're going to focus on him down the stretch. But the other guy that we've seen play really well today is Pipolo, and he sat on the bench the last 4 or 5 minutes. And so if you can get him on the floor and maybe get him going just a little bit on the offensive end, it'll take some of the stress off Austin Hannes, and it can really work in LaRoche's favor. So defensive possession here for LaRoche as Martin who drives. He's going to be fouled by Lawrence. That'd be the 16th foul. So it'll be an inbound here for Hilbert. 82-82, 4:23 remaining here at the Kerr. Hilbert with the ball. They go into Phillips. Phillips to the freshman Vinovich. To Martinu. Martinu drives. And is not going to get the 2 to go, but a good offensive rebound there. Phillips goes to the corner of the freshman. And that's good as he continues to shoot the lights out of it from beyond the arc. Vinovich for 3. So Hannes now to Gianni Smith. Gianni Smith drives. He's going to get the 2 to not go, and the ball is going to go to Hilbert as it's off Frederick. So a big stop there by Hilbert as they are leading by 3 now, 85-82.
How impressive of a day from the freshman Jovanovic. I mean, 26 points from the freshman. That's crazy good showing from him at the Kerr Fitness Center. Very difficult place to play, as we always touch on.
Absolutely. And so 2 there from Phillips as that's off the mark, but a good offensive rebound. Another offensive possession here for Hilbert. Yeah, and we've seen, like you said earlier, John Evans has had a quiet but very, very active game here from Hilbert. As they go out the corner, Phillips from 3, and that's off the mark. So Darius Lawrence driving here, kicks to Ross. Ross for 3, that's off the mark. Ooh, they're going to get Hannes here with a foul. And that's going to send Carice Fisher to the line to shoot 1-and-1. Oh, never mind. That'll be the 16th foul. Sorry.
Got to be careful here if you're the Redhawks. I mean, Pippo has been sitting with the 3 fouls. Hannes just picked up his 3rd. I mean, you're going to need all hands on deck here for the last 3 minutes in the final push of this ball game.
Absolutely. So 85-82, 3 minutes remaining. Martineau drives, good pass to Phillips. Phillips errant pass there, so it's going to be LaRoche's ball. Gianni Smith is going to slow it down a little bit, gives it to Hannes. Hannes is getting pressured there. Out to Frederick. Frederick from 3, that's off the mark. A little bit of a rush shot there. So LaRoche pushes back on the offensive end, not good enough to come. So Hilbert gets a stop.
And if I'm Hilbert right here, I'm going right at Hannes to try to draw his 4th foul.
Absolutely. So Frederick now guarding Phillips. Vonovich there. Martineau for 3. That's off the mark. So Gianni Smith now.
Big
2:16 remaining. Absolutely big stop there as the lead's still at 3 for Hilbert. Desmond Ross trying to set something up here. Johnny Smith with the ball now. Goes to Lawrence. 2 minutes remaining here in this game. Lawrence drives. Good for 2. Hilbert's lead cut to 1 now. 85-84. 1:53 remaining here at the Kerr Fitness Center. So Hilbert now is going to take a timeout. 1:47 remaining on the game clock here. So we're going to take a timeout as well. We'll be right back here at the LaRoche University Sports Network. Here at the Kerr Fitness Center as this game is coming down to the wire, and we knew it would. We knew this was going to be a tough one for LaRoche after the loss to Franciscan. Hilbert on a hot streak as they come here to the Kerr, not having really, you would say, their best or second best player on the year, Kenny Smith, and so we knew it was going to be a tough one. And with Hilbert still shooting over 50% from three-point range, it's been a testament for LaRoche to still be into this game.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you've seen here the past couple minutes, it's been somewhat of a defensive struggle. I think we said that Hilbert had almost nearly 80 points with like 8 minutes left, and they're still at 85, and the Redhawks at 84. So
ball goes in here to Phillips. Vodovanovic with the ball. He drives, kicks it out here to Martineau. Setting up the offense. 15 on the shot clock. Screen there. They're going to try to get the mismatch. They do. Vinovich for 3, and that's off the mark. So LaRoche now, yes, the Kerr Fitness rim's coming into play. So Gianni Smith with the ball now goes to Lawrence. So LaRoche with a chance to take the lead here. 1:18 remaining. Gianni Smith now gives it to Hannes. I feel like you got to go to Frederick here. Got to find a ball. Desmond Ross drives. Kicks to Smith. Ball's going to be tipped. Smith grabs the ball back. 7 on the shot clock.
Gotta move quick.
Got to go to the corner. Ross for 3. That's off the mark. And the ball's going to stay here with, it's going to go to Hilbert. So Hilbert leading by 1, 53 seconds remaining. So a stop has got to come here from LaRoche. This Kerr starting to get a little amped up as we see this game winding down. Martineau with the ball now. Goes over to Phillips. Phillips drives, pulls up from 3. That's off the mark. Good rebound there by Desmond Ross as he's pushing down the floor. He's going to go. Lay it in for 2, and that's good. LaRoche takes the lead by 1 here. 86-85, LaRoche leads. 20 seconds remaining here. Hilbert with the ball. Stop here for LaRoche would be huge. 11 on the clock. Martineau with the ball, drives. Ball goes in, off the mark. Frederick with the ball now. And it's going to go to LaRoche. 3 seconds on the game clock here as it'll be LaRoche's ball. Timeout is trying to be called here for Kermie Carmichael. So the ball is going to stay in the corner with LaRoche as they're going to get a chance to inbound. Hilbert cannot believe that this ball went to LaRoche. Great defensive possession for LaRoche on both times there as they do just enough to come back in this game and they lead by 1.
I mean, let's talk about Desmond Ross's court presence going all the coast to coast there and lays it in. I mean, I think Hilbert was expecting him to dish it off. I mean, at any point, and he just kept going.
Absolutely. I mean, Desmond Ross, and not that he hasn't been a great offensive presence all day, but anybody on the court, I'd have felt like there was 3 or 4 other guys other than him that would have got that ball, and he does a very good job to go coast to coast, lay it in, and a good again, we talked about today how hard it has been on this LaRoche team for defense, on their defensive end, and 2 back-to-back stops for LaRoche is Darius Lawrence, the veteran point guard, the senior, has played out of his mind in the last 2-3 minutes on the defensive end. 2 huge stops there and a great defensive rebound by Tyler Frederick.
And I mean, that just shows the beauty of Austin Hannis a couple minutes prior getting extremely hot. I mean, Desmond Ross gets the rebound and is dribbling down the court. And I mean, nobody expects him to keep going. I'm sure they're trying to get on shooters beyond the arc, but he just goes in with a real nice layup, pretty easy. And like you said, we get a good call on our end, and we're going to have the ball here, but it's not over yet. Got to capitalize here, make free throws.
Absolutely. You got to get this ball inbound. If you can get this ball inbound and get to the free throw line, at least that has Hilbert trying to go the full court presence here, the full end of the court to get at least points. So the ball's got to get inbounded here. And we see Pipolo check back in. We talk about the free throw shooting. He's been good at that lately. So the ball's got to go in. Goes to Frederick. Frederick's going to be fouled. So 2 on the clock. 2.2 remaining. So Frederick will go to the line to shoot the 2 free throws. Messiah Phillips, though, does a good job there because if he doesn't foul, that clock runs out. And so a good job by just getting hands on Frederick because if that foul wasn't taken, he definitely is.
I mean, even a good job being there. I mean, Frederick had a dump off pass to Darius Lawrence, who was down there standing by himself. But once again, a split is not going to be good enough here with the 3-point shooting presence of this Hilbert Hawks team. I mean, a 2-point lead is not going to do it.
I agree. It's going to be tough for Hilbert, though. But again, you're right. The way they've been shooting the 3 ball, you got to have both these just to have in your back pocket that only a 3 can tie. So Frederick, as he's been, I mean, the preseason player of the year, hopefully going to be the player of the year in the AMCC. These are the moments that really define that position, that statue, that status. And so we're going to see if he can make both free throws here with the 1-and-1. So Frederick to shoot his first. That's good. And so now I really feel like you don't have anybody, I mean, you want to make this shot, but you talk about missing it here, and it just the full court at 2 seconds with the shot, it's just tough. So we're going to see if LaRoche can do it here as he makes it. So now LaRoche guarantees a tie at least.
Yeah, I think that's a good call there. I mean, you might as well. Now you have to, all you have to do is run people off the 3-point line. Just make sure nothing crazy happens and do not foul.
Absolutely.
That's got to be the main message here. Because these refs, they've been quicker to the whistle in this second half. I
agree.
In theory, you shouldn't have a foul called.
You
in
want
the last 10 seconds.
You want just enough pressure on this inbound that's going to have to time to waste.
Yes.
You're obviously you're going to play a full court pressure here, which Coach Carmichael knows. But it's just going to be talking about who's going to be on the ball and who's not going to be on the ball and that sort of thing. And you just can't, I mean, yes, the heave that goes in from half court you can't do anything about, but you really just want to make pressure. That way they can't get a shot off.
And this Hilbert team has done a good job in their own respect. I mean, you can't overvalue one of their players because they have 3-point shooters in other regards. I mean, the freshman's having a great day, but you can't overvalue him and just leave someone else wide open.
I agree. So LaRoche, comes back. We saw 8 minutes left, down 13. Now leads by 3 with 2.2 seconds remaining. 88-85 here. As they have really done everything they could to make sure that Look at Hilbert is still upset with that call over in the corner. But
Yeah, they were arguing for a long time. I know you don't want to tee a guy up for being emotional, but
Yeah.
it was getting borderline there.
I agree. It's just one of those ones where, like, at this point, you have to almost say that it's over and done with. You gotta try to get points here. So we see Fredericks on the ball here. They're gonna throw it deep, try to get a tip. That's gonna be too much. That's gonna go to LaRoche. Just go all the way back down the floor. So they're gonna try. You got to get the inbound in here. Inbound ends this game.
The only benefit I see from that is no clock. Ran
Agreed.
off the time
Agreed.
for Hilbert.
Agreed.
I don't know what they had planned with that inbound. I know you have 2 seconds left, but
Good timeout here by Hermie, just because it's one of those things where, you're going to see that, not that you expect this to go anything crazy, but just
You've seen
to
it
be able
before.
Just to know, here's what we're going to cover, here's what we're going to do. If this doesn't work, so we're going to the next one. It's one of those things where you have to just know every situation to make sure you don't put yourself in a situation where you get caught off guard.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the craziest thing that we've ever seen. At the D1 level, they call it March Madness for a reason. Like, we're approaching that time.
We are.
You have to secure a W here.
Especially at the Kerr. We see how good they are at home. But these are those middle-of-the-pack conference games that you have to grind out wins. And it's really a testament to this LaRoche team, being down here, being down there. And you talked about it at the start of this game. We recognize it almost all the time. Game of runs. They realized that their run was going to come. It just had to come at the right time.
And after the tough loss to Franciscan, where you play a hard-fought battle, and no Kennedy Smith here, coming back with this big surge, imagine the confidence it gives people. Hannes, not that he hasn't had confidence all year, but just enhances it. Pipolo, Desmond Ross with a big layup down the stretch here. It's going to be a good overall testament to this Redhawks team.
Absolutely. So we're going to see if LaRoche can get the ball here. Hannes, Pipolo, Ross, Frederick, and Lawrence on the floor here for LaRoche. Phillips, Martineau. Jovanovic. Oh, they go to Fredericks. Fredericks going to get it, and there's going to be a note. So we see a little bit of a late push there from Richardson at the end there. So are they going to say the foul came before the end of time expiring? So they're going to call foul. So there's going to be still time left. Good job by the LaRoche team, though, of not doing anything after the fact there. They did a very good job of knowing that their best player, Frederick, gets thrown to the ground there, and they don't retaliate. And it just shows that Hermie knows that some of the discipline actions this year haven't been the best. But if you can continue to just weather storms and make sure your team doesn't do anything stupid and win games, you're going to be okay.
Yes. Don't need any more extracurricular activity. And that's almost like I was talking about, the refs so quick to call fouls here in this half, and then you know that this Hilbert team is going to foul down 3. Why did they wait so long to blow the whistle?
Absolutely. So Frederick to seal this game right here. Off the mark, and that's going to be it, though. So LaRoche takes the win here at home. 88-85. A big, big win at the Kerr Fitness Center on Hall of Fame induction day. And so, like I said, a testament to this team for all the adversity so far that's happened. And this Hilbert team, you got to give them props for coming into this gym and playing the game that they did.
Most definitely. I think we're going to have to start the trending Kerr Fitness effect. With a 13-point lead, and Hilbert with an impressive, nearly played the whole game pretty well against this Redhawks team. Granted, without Kennedy Smith and on the road, but those last couple minutes, it seemed like Hilbert was bleeding the clock, and they were playing not to lose. Their whole offensive demeanor almost changed, and it ended up costing them at the end of the day.
Absolutely. So a huge win here for LaRoche to improve the 9-1 in conference, 9-6 overall, 88-85 here at the Kerr. So we're going to have the small and Hall of Fame induction ceremony before this girls game here. So we're going to keep live with the microphones on that so anybody who's watching can see that. And then we'll be right back here for this women's action, which is the game of the week in the AMCC. 9-0 LaRoche in conference, 8-1 Hilbert in conference. So that'll be a great game to ramp up this next few, hours here at the Kerr. So we'll be right back here on the LaRoche LaRoche University Sports Network, and for the induction ceremony.